Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Lisa, your art teacher, and welcome back to my table of art. Today, before we start our lesson, I'd like to review with you some of your colors, lines, shapes, and patterns. I don't want you to forget about your colors, your lines, your shapes, or your patterns, so we're going to review them today. Let's start with our primary colors. Do you remember what your primary colors are? Let's think about it for a while. Our first primary color is going to be, you know it, red. Red. Red is our first primary color. Red, red. Can you look around your room right now and see if you could spot anything that's red? You don't have to go and get it. Just look around. This way, when you look at it in the future, you'll remember that that is red. I'm going to look around my table. I have something. I have a red dinosaur. That's my red object. The next primary color that I'm going to show you, so you never forget, is going to be yellow. 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 Remember, yellow is a primary color. Look around the room and see if you could spot something that's yellow. Yellow. What do I have? Nope. I have a yellow highlighter. That's my yellow object. And my last primary color is my blue. Blue is my last primary color. There are 3 primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. Can you find an object in your room that's blue? Don't go get it. Just look. Look around. Look up. Look to your left. Look to your right. I found something blue. This is a spray that I use to erase the board behind me. The bottom's blue, so I'm going to count this as my blue object. So I have my 3 primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. Very good. Now, when we have primary colors, do you remember how magical they are and what they can do? Our 3 primary colors are so magical that they can make all the colors in the rainbow. So, if you remember your color wheel, I'm going to make one really fast for you to help you remember. Some of you have made them on paper plates. Some of you made them on a sheet of paper that I handed out. But today I'm going to show you on my eraser board my primary colors. And I'm going to connect them because the colors are all connected. Here we go. We have our primary colors of red, blue, and yellow. So what do I mean by them being magical colors? Well, if I mix sets of colors, I create new colors. So let's think about it. If I mixed blue with yellow, do you know what color I might get? Blue and yellow. I'll give you a hint. If you go outside and you walk on your front lawn, that's the color it's going to make. What? Did you say green? You are 100% right. If I mix my blue and my yellow together, I'm going to get green. And that's a good color for this week because do you know what this week is? Earth Day! We are celebrating 50 years of celebrating Earth Day. Thank you, Earth, for all that you've given me. So now, we're going to connect the blue and the yellow to the green because when they're mixed together, they create green. Do you like my green balls? Yay! How about if I mixed my yellow with red? Well, think about yellow and red. Those are our warm colors. And an easy way to remember that these are our warm colors is they kind of resemble the colors you might see in the sun. And the sun makes us so nice and warm. So red and yellow together will create another color you might see in the sun. And that is orange, orange, orange. Like the oranges we might eat. That's a real easy one. Oranges you eat. So we're going to connect the red and the yellow to the orange because when we mix them together, we'll get orange. Very good. So, primary colors blue and yellow mixed together, we get green. Primary colors red and yellow mixed together, we get orange. How about when we mix our blue and red together? I like this color. I think a lot of you like this color. We are going to get purple. Purple. What a beautiful color. Blue and red mixed together makes purple. Now, I told you that red, yellow, and orange are the warm colors. And the easiest way to remember that is just think about the sun. And these are colors we would find in the sun that keep us nice and warm. Well, if they're the warm colors, I'd only have to guess that these must be the cool colors. So we have purple, blue, and green as the cool colors. So if you think about the snow outside or the reflection of ice, it kind of has a blue effect. So try to remember that these are your cool colors. Okay? So that's our review on our colors, but I also want to show you my orange pom-pom balls and my purple pom-pom balls I made just for today. And watch how pretty they are when I put all the colors of the rainbow together. We start out with red as the first color in the rainbow. And there's a way to remember this, and I'm going to tell you when I'm done. The next one would be, can you guess it? That's right, orange. So we've got red, orange, and yellow. And why do I put them in this order? Because if I mix my red with my yellow, I get what's in the middle, my orange. Okay? Very good. So what's after the yellow? My green. Can you guess what's after the green? That's right, my blue. So now if I mixed yellow and blue, I get my green. What comes after the blue? Well, I can't show you how these go together because they're at both ends of the rainbow. But purple would be if I mix the red and the blue. It kind of starts all over again with the color mixing. Like the color wheel, it's a circle. Okay? So, here's my rainbow of colors. How beautiful is that? What's better than this? Actually seeing a real rainbow is better than this. But for now, this is good, and I think it's pretty beautiful. I want to put this to the side for a second because I want to write a word. Actually, letters. R, O, Y. I'm sorry, excuse me, I have allergies. G, B, I, V. Look at these letters that I wrote on my board. R, it's called Roy G. Biv. And that's a way of remembering the order of the colors in your rainbow. Ready? Roy, R, red. Whoops, red. O, what does O stand for? Orange. Y, Y stands for yellow, yellow. G stands for green. So we're up to Roy G. B, can you guess what the B stands for? That's right, blue. Roy G. B. And the I and V we're going to put together to get, well, they're saying violet, violet and purple. Roy G. Biv. That's a great way to remember the order of colors in your rainbow. Very good. So let's put these aside for now. And I'd like to move on to our colors. So to our lines. So I'm going to erase our colors. And we're going to go to lines. Now, lines describe their place in space. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you. If I had a horizontal line, that line would go left to right, straight across my paper. That's a horizontal line. That describes its place in space. It's horizontal. Think about the horizon, where the top is the sky, doing this upside down, and the bottom is the land. It separates and divides the land from the sky, the horizon line. So you have a horizon line. Horizontal is your horizon line, but our first line is horizontal. Our next line is vertical. Vertical goes from top to bottom. So it goes from up at the top, straight down to the bottom. That is a vertical line, top to bottom. Horizontal is left to right. And the last line is called diagonal. It's on an angle. Diagonal. So I'm going to draw one item that incorporates all three lines. Can you guess what I'm going to draw? Try to guess while I draw it. Almost done. Hold on. Oopsie. Let me try this. Okay. I drew a slide. My slide has my diagonal line when we're going up the slide ladder. I have a horizontal line, which is each step in the ladder. And I have a vertical line, which goes straight up and down. It holds the slide up. And I have another one here. What is that? Well, that's simply a diagonal curved line. It's going in a diagonal direction. It's also going up and down, but it's curved. So we have a new line, which is called curved. We have diagonal, horizontal, vertical, and now we have curved. So those lines, horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, they determine their place in space. There's other kinds of lines or other descriptions of lines. This is a thin line. If I colored in here, this is a thick line. A thin and thick line. This is a broken line. Zigzag line. Curvy line. Looping line. There are so many lines you can create. So that's a little review on our lines. Okay? Horizontal, vertical, diagonal, thin, thick, broken, straight, zigzag, curly, loopy, all kinds of lines. Now, how about shapes? What are shapes? Well, a circle is a shape. A heart is a shape. A square is a shape. A A triangle is a shape. There's all kinds of shapes. But if we were to put our shapes into a pattern and mix them with some lines, it might look something like this. Heart, circle, heart, circle, heart, and then I'm going to add some lines in my circle and maybe one in my heart. So now I made a pattern, which is something that repeats. Heart, circle, heart, circle, heart. And I gave them some lines. Zigzag, straight, zigzag, straight, zigzag. So that's two kinds of patterns. Patterns with shapes, patterns with lines, and patterns with the two mixed together. So keeping all of that in mind, how about we get ready for our project? We're going to need a few items. So let me put my board aside. You're going to need a piece of cardboard. I have a heavy cardboard because I just have a lot of this around the house. If you have a box of cereal that's empty or any other kind of box, cut out a flat piece because you're going to need a flat piece which will become the base of your project. Now, all month I've been talking to you about sculptures. Do you remember what a sculpture is? It's a three-dimensional form of art. What does that mean, three-dimensional? Well, let's pretend that this is a sculpture. I can see in front of it. I could see behind it. I can see on top of it. I could see all around it. So that makes it a three-dimensional form. If it was a two-dimensional form, it would be flat like this cardboard. And if this was a painting, I could only see what is on the front of this cardboard. There's nothing behind it except for cardboard. The painting's not behind it. The painting's on the front. So this is what's called a two-dimensional image. It's flat. What we're going to do today is we're going to transform. That means to change a two-dimensional form, which is flat, into a three-dimensional sculpture, which we can see all around. So let's continue with our materials. Nice flat piece of cardboard, whether it's heavy cardboard or a cereal box, both will do. You're going to need a sheet of white construction paper. Now this part you can use different items. I'm going to use markers because I like the way markers stand out on my paper. It's very bright and vibrant. You can use markers, thin or thick, or you can use crayons, or you can use anything that will create color. So the first thing I would like you to do is we're going to start by making lines on our paper. I would like you to start at one end of your paper and make a curvy line right across your paper out to the other end. Using a black marker or a black crayon. Can you see how I did this? I started at one end and I went right across to the other. Let's do another one. Start at a different end, go right across, and leave the other side of your paper. I started on the side, I went right across and out the bottom. Let's do it another time because we want to create different sections with our lines onto our paper. And we don't want too many big sections. We want to try to make them look a little bit smaller. This is a nice size for different sections. Okay? I think this is enough for my lines. Ooh, these are scented markers. That smells delicious. What is this? Marshmallow. I knew it smelled good. Oh my goodness, is that nice? Okay, now what I would like you to do in each of these sections, I want you to add your colors. I want you to add lines. I'd like you to add some shapes, and I'd like you to create some patterns. You don't have to do that in every one of them. You can make one section with patterns, one section with stripes in different colors, one section with just shapes. I want you to mix it up and make it beautiful. I'm going to start with mine just to give you an example of what I mean. I'm going to take this section and I'm just going to add some shapes. I love making hearts. Hearts are red. So I'm going to make a few hearts in this section. And then I'm going to color the background maybe orange, because I like orange and red together. Even though they're very close in color, I still think it's pretty. And I'm going to do this fast just so I can show you as a demonstration. I'm coloring it really fast. So I might go a little bit out of the line or a little bit into the heart, and that's okay. Remember, this is more about having fun and enjoying the art making process than being perfect. Because remember, all these imperfections make your piece unique from everybody else's. And that makes it interesting too. So here I used some shapes, heart shapes, and colors, orange and red. Now maybe this other little section, I think I'm going to make lines. I'm going to make a thin blue line and a thick blue line. A thin blue line and a thick blue line. A thin blue line and a thick blue line. Now I did that with one marker. All it depended on was how I held the marker. Flat made a thicker line. On an angle made a thinner line. Then I'm going to add a color in between those lines. I'll add yellow. They look pretty together. Boy, these markers smell so good. They're scented markers and they're making me hungry. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so on this section, I used my lines, which also created a pattern. Thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick. So I used lines, patterns, and colors. Okay, I want you to do that for the entire page. And when you're done, it might look something like this. I prepared this one ahead of time so we could see what the next step would be. This alone is a work of art, but this isn't all we're going to do. The next step we're going to do is we're going to need our scissors because we are going to cut out our shapes. And we're going to use our black line as a guide where to cut. I'm going to start right here and cut this shape out. If you cannot cut by yourself, ask whoever's there with you, working with you, to help you. Remember, teamwork is the best work, and it's never anything wrong with asking for help. Now this is a really big section. I can either cut it in half or keep it whole. I'm going to cut it in half right there. I cut a little piece off, and I'm going to continue cutting around my shapes using my black line as my guide. Remember, when you make your line, make it thick. It'll be easier to cut into and easier to follow. So I'm going to continue until all my shapes are cut. I have a lot of them too, and they're really cool. Some are just solid colors. Some of them are shapes. Some of them are pattern. But I think they're all really pretty. So I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to finish cutting into every shape because I want to show you what we're doing next. But I want you to continue cutting all your shapes out. So I'm going to put this on the side for now. And I'm going to take out my cardboard. this is going to be my base. Now, we are talking about sculptures. So what do you think we're going to do with all these flat, two-dimensional colors, shapes, stripes, patterns? We're going to make them three-dimensional. And we're going to do it with a glue stick. Or if you have Elmer's glue or any kind of glue you have, that will work. I like glue sticks because they dry fast while I'm doing a demonstration. But I need a good one. Here's a new one. I got a new glue stick. Nothing better than a new glue stick. Okay, so now here's where your creative technique comes in. It's your artistic decision making. So I'm going to start by putting a little glue on the corner of this piece right here. I want to make sure it's going to stick. I'm going to take that and stick it to the base, just that corner. Then I'm going to curve up the paper and I'm going to glue the other side. Curve it up. I might have to hold that glue in place until it takes to drying. Okay, I've already made a two-dimensional flat form into a three-dimensional sculpture. This piece alone is a sculpture, but we're going to add all the other pieces we created into this sculpture. But I have to wait for this glue to dry. This may not be my better choice. This glue stick is not sticking. I'm going to try a different one. This is not my favorite. I like the ones that are white and gloppy because they really stick better. So let's try this one. Oops, sorry. There we go. This glue is tricky. It's like gum. Is this glue or gum? Listen, this is all a learning process. And this is the fun part. Get messy. Stick your hands in the glue. No, don't do that. Okay, look at that. See, that glue dried fast. I can see all around this form on my cardboard. So that two-dimensional flat form has now become a three-dimensional sculpture form. And I want you to continue gluing the pieces down, again, any way you want. Overlapping the other piece, underneath, around, however you want. You're the artist, you're the sculptor. I want you to enjoy this. I want you to have fun. And I want you to take a picture and send it to me when you're done. Because I'd love to put all the lessons and all the projects together and make one big poster for everybody to share and enjoy. Okay? So until I meet again, I want you to enjoy your art, work on your lessons. But what do I always say? The most important thing is that you have fun and do not worry about being perfect. That's no fun. Be creative. Use your imagination. And again, just have fun. So boys and girls, until I see you again, be well. I miss you very much, and I look forward to us being together again. And I hope it's real soon. So until then, remember, art rules, and Miss Lisa miss you. Bye for now. Ciao.